Week 21, day 2, and we're going to develop the quality of friendliness this week. Ought to be easy, right? Look at the story. 2 students were transferring to a new school. The first asked the counselor, "How are the students here?" The counselor looked at it and said, "How are the students at your other school?" The student said, "Mean, hateful, unfriendly, bullies." Counselor then said, "Students are the same here." The second student came to the same counselor and asked, "How are the students here?" The counselor asked the second student, "How were the students at the school you came from?" The student said, "Great, helpful, friendly, caring." The counselor said, "The students here are the same." It's like the old fable. The old man was telling his grandson, he said, "There's 2 wolves inside of me. An evil wolf and a good wolf. And when I feed the evil wolf, I'm evil. I'm unfriendly. I'm mean. When I feed the good wolf, I'm friendly. I'm good. I'm hospitable. I'm helpful." And the little boy said, "Which one takes over?" He said, "The one I feed." See, you make a choice every day whether or not you're going to be friendly. And where does it all begin? I tell you, the simplest thing in the world is, how do you greet people? And we've talked about this before in communication and being a good communicator. But when you see someone coming towards you, do you smile? Do you greet them? Do you say, "Good morning"? Do you know that the normal way to greet people is to look the other way? You have an opportunity 500 times a day, it's been proven, greeting someone. And if you do say, "How you doing today?" "I'm great. Boy, it's good to see you." It makes a world of difference. That's being friendly, smiling. Do you realize that it takes less muscles in your face to smile than it does to frown? So why do people always want to frown? They're scared. They don't want to risk being friendly. I've said it before. What's the number one thing people want to hear? Their first name. "Good morning, Dennis. How are you?" That right there makes a world of difference. There was a man named Hal Urban, and Hal Urban was a teacher in California. And Hal Urban stood in the doorway of his classroom every day. And in order to get into that classroom, you had to fist bump, high five. You couldn't hug because that denoted sexual harassment or something. But you had to speak. You had to do something. You had to be friendly. And he said that, at first the kids would make fun of him and say, "I don't want to do that, and I'm not doing that." But they all got to where they did it, and they'd get in the habit of doing it. And he said if he wasn't up there at that door, kids would not go in. They would stand outside and wait on him to finish what he was doing to come to the door. Charlie Abjulay was a teacher in North Carolina. Charlie Abjulay had a rule that every day when you came to his class, the first thing you had to do was write on these little Post-it notes that he had on the desk something good about somebody in that class. You couldn't say about how they looked or what they were wearing. You had to write something good about somebody in that class. You had to be friendly. How did the class begin? Charlie Abjulay said he would take up those notes as he was taking roll, and then he might read a couple of them. And he said one day, and he was telling this story at a character convention, and he said one day he read this note, and it said, "I'm sure glad April is here today. We have really missed her." And April was a student that was very non-committal about going to school. She had a lot of absences. She struggled with classes. She struggled with school. She had a tough home life. She didn't really want to come to school. And when she did come to school, it wasn't always a positive thing. When the class was over, she came up to Charlie Absolet and she said, Mr. Absolet, you wrote that note, didn't you? And Charlie said, honey, I don't write them, I just read them. And she said, I won't miss another day of school this year. If I'm important to somebody, I won't miss another day. Make a difference. Friendliness, make a difference. Change the way you greet people. As I've told you before, when you walk into a classroom and somebody says something that's demeaning to you, they don't like themselves. They need to get you down to where they are. They're in the gutter and they need you down there. And if you don't fall for that trick, it kills them. Be friendly. Be friendly to your friends. Be friendly to your enemies. Say hello. Greet everyone with a positive manner. See you tomorrow.